In today's raw, uncut walk-along video, I get quite sick alone in the wilderness on the Pacific Crest Trail. Yo-ho-ho! Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Russ Hepton, long-distance hiker, founder of Through Notes and vice president at Trek for Trevor. Be sure to head to the description of this video for a 10% discount off one of my waterproof notebooks and head over to trekfortrevor.org for hiker safety and advice from trusted and verified sources. If you haven't already, go and watch my PCT documentary series Back to the Start, where I got forced off the trail in 2020 all the way to when I returned to the trail 2 years later. Links are up here and also in the description. Today's episode covers an 81.9 mile stretch from the Bridge of the Gods at mile 2150.2 to the Mount Adams Wilderness at mile 2232.1. Okay, if you're excited for this video, hit that like button, drop a comment to say that you are ready, and let's jump in. Bridge of the Gods. Welcome back to another installment of my PCT walkthroughs.
Crossing that bridge, that just felt so good.
Felt really good to be in Washington. If you weren't here last time, it went from Mount Hood to the Bridge of the Gods. Bridge of the Gods is where Oregon meets Washington, and you cross over to the new state. A monumental moment for most northbound through hikers. But for me, I was just shy of 1,000 miles. Barely even like a third of the way. Around a third of the way. But hey, beautiful already.
Hello. Saturday, 6th of August. I think this is day 25, 26. I am not sure. Really huge, steep ascent yesterday. Made it about 10 miles from Cascade Locks, but just got so tired so quickly. So stopped and set up camp. And yeah, the trail's really steep and rocky, and the rocky trail just makes me so slow because I just don't want to sprain an ankle after everything I went through before. So I'm being really careful about where I put my feet, and really mentally drains you because you're just constantly like struggling to walk over this trail. Right now it's all right, but there's a lot of really exposed parts where it's just covered in rocks and scree. So that's fun.
So coming out of Cascade Locks, over the Bridge of the Gods, as soon as you get into Washington, I think you got like a couple of miles of like relatively flat, and then it's just like straight up, really steep ascent. And all of a sudden, like the trail is just like not comfortable to walk on. You've gone through Oregon, which is nice and smooth and cruisy and relatively flat. And Northern California, for me at that point when I first started, was pretty cruisy. And all of a sudden, you're hit with some pretty serious grade and lots of switchbacks. So, yeah, I was getting put to the test, that's for sure.
Anyway, just going to try and do mid-20s from now into Canada now. I think 30s really slow me down the day after I do them, so there's just no point. Mid-20s is like the sweet spot, so I'm just going to try and be consistent and steady and just make my way there. So yeah, beautiful views, beautiful sunrise, and yeah, just got to keep going.
Well said, Mr. Hepton. Yeah, Mount Hood, slowly shrinking. Reminded me of how Mount Shasta would shrink.
Oh man, I was so pooped this morning. I kind of just had a nap, sat down for about an hour's worth of shot eye, and I feel a lot better. But this is Washington so far. Just a load of forest. It's crazy because I suppose after Northern California, or during Northern California, most of the PCT is forest. So you're in a green tunnel for quite a huge chunk of the trail. But not to worry, there's plenty of exciting views coming up. The forest is very beautiful, but we've got the Northern Cascades, and I cannot wait for those.
I was not feeling that well that day. Another fellow through hiker. Spud a Rocky is his Instagram. Go and follow him. I think he did the TA last year or the year before. British lad.
So I just drank this Jack Daniels. It was for the Bridge of the Gods, and I forgot I even had it. Checked my backpack, and there it was. So I just had it and didn't record it, but there you go. Celebration. I love it when I see these like perfect like little locations to go for a wild swim. I just can't help myself, and I haven't showered in like a while, so I friggin' stink.
It was so cold. Get my white pasty bod out. Yeah, I wasn't feeling well.
Oh, that was so good. So freezing. But when you've been walking for so long and all you know is sweat and dirt and chafe and insect bites, a nice, cool, refreshing dip is just what you need.
Yeah, I don't think I showered in Cascade Locks. I stayed in that tent site near the railroad and resupplied the next day, bouncing boxes in straight off. So I think I hadn't showered for about 3 weeks at this point. Bend was my last shower. Oh no, I'm getting my dates wrong. I hadn't showered for a while. Not since Bend. The longest I went without a shower was about 3 weeks at one point. I think it was this like stretch. Anyway, yeah, not feeling particularly well. Starting to lose weight really quickly and felt really weak.
Oh, this really sucks because I can't walk more than like 5 or 6 miles before just feeling absolutely knackered. Oh. To the point where I just had to stop and have a nap. And then you wake up, you feel a bit better, and then you start walking again. And then it slowly starts creeping back. You just want to stop. So, not feeling too great, if I'm honest. Just feel really, really weak. Ideally, what I really need to do is find a nice empty like single camp spot so I can get a really good night's sleep without getting disturbed. The last few nights have been really crap night's sleep. I think that's all it is. Just need to catch up on some sleepy time. Sleepy time. There we are. That's why we do this. There's Mount Adams. Beautiful. Hello, again. Sorry for the angle, I'm just chowing down on my tuna and mash and cheese, which, you know, is quite nice. But, yeah, the last 2 days, I've been so tired. Just feeling under the weather, feeling like I just need to sleep. And like I'm feeling like I'm coming down with like a flu or something, but it's not making me so ill that I can't walk. This is the thing. It's like I'm halfway between being unwell and not being well at all. So I don't know if it's because my body is so malnourished. I'm taking vitamins and minerals and a cod liver oil tablet most days. I'm hydrating. I literally think it's lack of sleep. Ever since freaking, what's it called, Cascade Locks, that night, I think I probably got an hour's sleep and then did all that resupply and then hiked 10 miles. And that was 2 days ago. Ever since then, I just haven't felt right. So I have set up camp. It's literally like 2 p.m. I'm going to park my ass here for the rest of the day and just sleep, drink water and eat and sleep until tomorrow morning. And hopefully just rest it off. And I've only got like 22 miles to Trout Lake anyway, which is the next town I'm getting supply from. So I'll probably do that 22, hitch into town in the afternoon, do my resupply, hitch back, camp somewhere near to the road where I hitched, and yeah, I'm still on schedule. But yeah, I just need to make sure that I'm getting enough calories and resting enough. Otherwise, I could make myself quite unwell pretty quick. But yeah, that's me. I'm going to finish eating my mashed taters.
It's really important to get a lot of sleep. Get to bed early, get a full night's sleep. That's why I don't do too well in hostels and shared dorms, because I'm a light sleeper. And eating enough. I wasn't eating enough at this point. I thought I was. But this little spot that I found next to this lake, it's just so stunning. So peaceful. And I was like, I'm just going to park my arse here for 24 hours. It was nice to do that. Because the day in, day out, the daily grind, you almost trap yourself into hiking every day. And then this bout of feeling unwell made me stop and just like live there for a day and just have a day off and be out there, like my little home in the woods. Because, yeah, like I feel like for a thru hiker, camping is a tool. It's a means. It's a means to the next day. It's purely for rest. It's not really for enjoying the camping. It's pitch your tent, make your food, go to sleep, wake up, pack up, hit the trail. But in this 24 hours, I had a really nice, wholesome day of just being out there alone and contemplating what I'm doing instead of just thinking about walking. And it was really nice to do. Next thru hike I do, I'm going to do that more often and pack out extra days of food so I can just stop and not think about keeping up with the bubble and making the miles, and because this was a really special day for me.
So yeah, had a few hours sleep. Just went down to the lake, the blue lake, and it's actually very beautiful. Beautiful blue colour, like a turquoisey blue. All these kind of rainbow trout just jumping up and catching all the flies. So that was quite nice. And yeah, I've eaten enough. I've drank an extra 2 litres of water. I just feel a lot better. So I'm just gonna sit here for the rest of the night and review my footage. Take a look at all the video I've taken.
I feel like Washington might be the most like mentally taxing state for me, just because everyone else is about to finish that's going in the same direction as me, whereas I'm less than halfway. And then I've also got like this like ringing bell in the back of my mind that I've got to move. I've got to keep my ass moving, because I can't relax really for too long. I've got to get to the Sierra before the snow accumulates. So yeah, and also there's like a little anxiety about other fires in NorCal, which would be so disappointing if there were more further south from the ones that are currently there. But as it stands right now, the fires that are currently going on, when I go back to Dunsmuir, I'll have missed it all. So it's all good. There's also the fact that I might be able to do the Lion's Head closure, because that might be opening up this month, according to the PCTA. So with a bit of luck, no more fires. I could probably do the 87 miles that I've skipped before I head down to Dunsmuir. Get down to Dunsmuir, start heading south from there. And then if all that goes well, I'll have done every single mile, which is very rare.
I couldn't believe my luck when I heard that the trail in the Lion's Head closure might be reopening. Because it did, I was gutted that this section of trail hadn't reopened from a fire that happened 2 years ago. I think I mentioned in another video. It's all paperwork. But yeah, at this point I was like, oh, and suddenly I'm feeling better. I just had some rest. I've done some contemplation, and things are like falling into place. It was really reassuring, exciting, but also like a bit too good to be true. You're like, what is going on? The serendipity and luck that I had was out of this world.
So it's looking very likely that the flip-flop was the best decision that I have ever made. Because even for southbounders, they've got to skip the whole of Oregon now. So if I had started southbound, as I was originally planning to do, I'd have been in the same boat. I wouldn't have made it in time. Fires in Oregon would have closed the state, and I'd have missed all of that I've just done. But I haven't. So it's a really good thing for me, not so much for the other folks.
And look, it sucks for everyone else, but man, this was my year. I tried to do it in 2019. Dad had a stroke, couldn't go because he was ill. 2020, went out there, COVID. Oh my God, what an absolute nightmare. And now finally, this is my moment. I felt like this was my chance to hike every mile. And my fingers and toes were very tightly crossed.
I really do feel for them. I know exactly how it feels. I've been there before. But it's looking, fingers crossed, like this is my year.
I haven't watched this before I do these videos, so it's quite funny how I reiterate what I'm thinking there, because I remember what I was thinking. Hitching a ride into Trout Lake, tiny little village, excellent shop to resupply at, really friendly people. Hitched a ride with this couple, really young couple. They looked about 18. And they were just traveling around in their dinky little car. Hiking, road tripping. Yeah, the shop had it was all like hiker food. Like really geared up, like they knew what hikers wanted.
Happy trails!
It's the second largest in the Cascades in girth and in size.
Mount Adams. So this is hitching a ride back. Didn't film much in towns, to be honest.
So you all have Rainier,
Rainier
Adams.
and Adams, and then there's Hood in Jefferson.
Is Hood technically Washington?
No. And if just Washington would be Hood, St. Helens.
I think they were getting their mountains mixed up in what states they're in. Anyway, here we are, Mount Adams Wilderness. I thought I would save the actual bits of the walk around the Mount Adams Wilderness for the next episode because it's one of my favorite sections of Washington. Anyway, thank you for watching this episode of my PCT walkthroughs. If you liked this video, tickle that like button. If you think I've missed something out, if you've hiked the PCT before, if you have anything to add, leave a comment down below. Subscribe for the next episode of this walkthrough. And also head over to my Patreon. There's a link in the description. Buy me a coffee. $3 is the minimum. And that will really help me out with continuing to make these videos. Thank you very much again for watching. And I will see you in the next one.